Jumps to the War here, and today I've got a saving a disaster battle playing as a Shadow Legion going up against Legion of the Gore Queen. So two legions going up against each other. We've got Azazel commanding a very weird army with Slanesh units and Khorne units, but I reckon our Khorne authority would be very low, so that's very weird. I imagine that he's got them in this army to deliver them over to this army. That's the only reasoning I can come up with for this. And yeah, Valkyria has besieged the settlement there, and we're trying to lift it. We're the attacker in the scenario here. And she's got a bit more than 2 full stacks. We've got a bit more than 2 full stacks. But the problem here is that in the current setup, Azazel versus Valkyria, Valkyria wins. She's got way higher combat stats, and we need to be able to take her out and deal with her. But we don't have any other flying units, and unfortunately, she does have a flying unit to come in and support her. Now, we're going to back off here, which the email, which I'll read out in a moment, does give us permission to do. So let's read this out now and try to figure out what the context is and how we can get around this. So it says, "Hi Legend, this is my first time playing as a Shadow Legion, and I got myself into a bit of a pickle here. I was on my way to Confederate Valkyria and noticed that the frozen city was unguarded, so I took the opportunity to take it from her and declare war. Well, I guess she didn't like that because now she has sent everyone and their mother after me." Well, you are a motherfucker. Anyway, I've tried this fight like 3 to 4 times, and I cannot grasp what I'm supposed to do here. Everything just ends up taking too much damage, and her second army pretty much destroys the remains of my first army and basically the entirety of my second army. I have some pretty good units in my first army, plus Azazel, so maybe I am just not using them properly. I've also only tried this battle without controlling large army. You should be able to back off with Azazel and check items and still have enough movement to attack again. I would greatly appreciate your help if you find this interesting. Please let me know if this one is even possible. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. So, first thing that I always like to do these days is check equipment. So, let's have a look at what we got here. We got the bronze armor of Zrak. So that is a piece of shit. The immune to contact effects, that really doesn't bother me. Like, maybe if we were going up against Nurgle, I'd be worried about that. But, I mean, Valkyria's got flaming attacks, so maybe that'll make us immune to flaming attacks. But we don't have any... That's the flaming effect, though. But we don't have any active healing unless we're casting spells. We don't want to be casting spells around her because you've got the Wrath of Khorne to blow up in our face. So this is not really providing any real value. Apart from armor plus 20, whatever. You've got 2 of them, and the thing is with 6.2, the patch, now that items stay in the same category when you fuse them, and because the amount of blue armors for the Warriors of Chaos is pretty limited, there's a pretty damn high chance that we'll actually roll a Armor of Destiny. And if not, well then I'll just wear the Armor of Fortune. That would be better. So let's just see how we go. There we go. Actually got... I don't know if it was lucky or not, but yeah, think of it this way. If there's like 3 potential items, then it was like a 1 in 3 chance of drawing. But I actually don't know how many blue items that I have to draw from. I'm getting so many Armors of Destiny these days. But this will give us 10% ward save. That's just going to be better than 5% physical resistance, which she bypasses, and we get that with this one here. Anyway, don't need to worry about the immune to contact effects. So let's have a look at this. Looking at Valkyria, she's got flaming attack and magical attack. So physical resistance is bypassed. And do we have flame resistance at all? We do have some flame resistance. Where's that coming from? That's coming from the Extinguished Phoenix Pinion, the enchanted item. Okay, let me have a look at that. Because that's good. That means our current resistance against her is... We're at 48%. So we were at 38% because we had the Talisman of Preservation on. And we added an additional 10 here. But she bypasses all of our physical resistance. Okay, good to know. Yeah, we definitely don't want to change this up because we'll need him to duel her. So, the Talisman of Preservation. Ooh, this is interesting. Dragonbane Gem. Now, this is an item that I think most people would overlook because it's a grey item. Surely blue item better than grey item, right? But actually, it's the difference between 18% resistance and 35% resistance. Because her attacks are all going to be flaming attacks, this is essentially 35% ward save, but only against enemies that have flames. Which is like all of them, because it's Khorne. Okay, so some of these don't have flaming attacks, but who fucking cares about Marauders? So, flaming attacks. Flaming attacks. Yeah. Flaming attack. I've said this so many times before. Flaming attacks is not a strength at all. There are so many units in the game that have really high flame resistance. And there's not that many units in the game that have a lot of flame weakness. Like, the most you'll encounter is maybe 20%, 25% maybe. But if we take off this Talisman of Preservation and instead put on the Dragonbane gem, that'll give us an additional 17% resistance. So then we go up from 55% resistance there. So 65% resistance. So we've gone from 38% to 65%. Almost doubling our resistance, halving the amount of damage that she's actually going to do to us. In fact, it's even more than that if we've got this active. Because then with that one active, it'll be 88%, sorry, 85% resistant. So yeah, she's barely going to do any damage. That doesn't last too long though, so I have to make the most of it. But that's good. If she's not able to dish out as much damage, he'll last a lot longer in the battle, and he'll be able to outlast her. Yeah, because we want to make sure that lady dies first. Oh my god, too much lens corruption, rotting my brain. Okay, so he should win in that duel then. And then after she's gone,
I will decapitate you.
Then we can start casting spells, because she got the Wrath of the Khorne. We don't want that in our face. And then we can start casting, which will allow us to heal. Okay, that's good. Next thing is, he was talking about not controlling large army. I actually think we do need to control large army, because in a siege lifting situation, you can't actually withdraw any units. So because we've got some unbreakable units and some demons here, they would have to get wiped out in order to bring in our reinforcements. And I don't really want... I like to hand the army back in decent shape, and Azazel can't take on the entire enemy army by himself. So by controlling large army, we can bring in our forces. The same thing will happen to them, but that'll also mean that they'll spend a bit of time waiting for them. Another thing is that you've got the Soul of Damnation. Now, I reckon if we keep this, they'll rush at us to begin with, because this is a powerful artillery piece. Now, sometimes artillery can be really good, but if you're waiting for reinforcements, artillery can actually be really bad. So if we get rid of this, they will not rush at us. And that means it buys us more time to bring them in. It is a good unit, though, don't get me wrong. But buying Azazel more time to kill all the heroes, that is better. Let's grab... Look, Aspiring Champion, that's probably going to be better anyway. So we'll go with that. Let's have a look at the battle difficulty. Alright, so he's got on hard battle difficulty with no AI cheats. We're going to buff that up. Okay, is there any other adjustments? Well, we've got a free Talisman of Preservation to use. Okay, this guy's got the Talisman of Endurance and the Crown of Everlasting Conquest. So because his resistances aren't really that high, I actually don't think we should give him the Talisman of Preservation, because that 25% battle healing cap, that'll provide him actually more endurance in this specific scenario because of how much regen he's got. It's actually 35% extra battle healing cap, then an extra 8% ward save. Now, if his current ward save was at like 50%, then getting that additional 8% would be more valuable than it is right now. But that's not the case. And since we don't have another Armor of Destiny to give him, although we do have an Armor of Fortune, yeah, give him that, I'll still leave him with the Talisman of Endurance. Instead, we'll give it to this one here, and you can have the Glittering Scales and the Tormentor Sword. Let me just see that again. If I go back, it's got the Sword of Battle. Okay, how about he has the Tormentor Sword? Okay, that sounds good. Alright, cool. Alright. I think I've made all the adjustments I can. Let's get in here and see... Oh, hang on. What's going on over here? Okay, I was just seeing if there was maybe the Blood God's Grudge, but he doesn't have any of the... Oh, we could use some souls to get it, but it's pretty expensive. He doesn't have that many, so... It is pretty good, though. Extra melee attack, weapon strength, charge bonus. No. Plus, Khorne is Ascendant, so you get a... what's it called? Exalted Bloodletter of Khorne gifted unit available. What about here? So you've got Raider's Raiment. That's actually good for now. We need that melee attack. You don't have Ruinous Bulwark, which I would normally be like, get this right now. But since they don't have any missile attacks, then it's fine. We don't need to get that right now. But you should get it. But you don't need it right now. Not for this battle. Alright, so no other adjustments need to be made. So let's get in there and make the attack. So yeah, we will be controlling large army because we need our reinforcements to come in. And let's see what we can do. So what we want to be doing straight away is just immediately going straight for Valkyria and putting her to bed, sleep. Fuck, you know what I mean. Alright, so we need to buy ourselves a bit of time for our reinforcements to show up. So they'll take 2.5 minutes from there. That's not too bad. Okay. Put the aspiring champions up front. Because I find that they're really good at sort of blocking the charge of whatever units come this way. We want the demons in the rear. Because they're bad at blocking a charge. And they're squishy. So we want them to sort of be shock troops. And I'll readjust all the stuff later. Let's just get them back to there. Yep, and let's get going. Yeah, see, they're not rushing towards us. I'm pretty sure they would have rushed at us if we had the Soul of Damnation.
Out of my way.
She can't turn off them flaming attacks. Oh, we got flaming attacks as well, but she's got no resistance to flaming flaming attacks. Oh my god, this is really bad today. We're not that close to her right now, so I guess we could do this without it exploding in our face. Yep, there's a 100-meter range for this. Okay, now she does have the demon shield, so we need her to get rid of that before we can do any damage to her. So what we're going to do is just like feign the attack a little bit. Okay, hang on. So she's completely invulnerable. We can't do any damage to her while that's going on, but it's got a really long cooldown. And there we go. Okay, yeah, look at that. She's barely even tickling him. Yeah, Azazel can last all day now. Because yeah, the flaming attacks, they're just getting bypassed because of a grey item. Well, 2 grey items.
Look how they dance.
God damn. If we had gone with the battle to as it was originally set up, it would have been the other way around. But look at this shit. We put on like a lower tier item, and the Armor of Destiny. But honestly, it's the Dragonbane gem that's mostly carrying him here. Because she's getting hits in, but they're just doing fucking 100 damage a pop. And she has come down with a case of death. Okay, so let's go after the Chaos Furies, because they're not going to let us get away. Oh, that's a nice blob there. Wouldn't mind if I bomb that. Now that she's gone, let's put this. See if that hits him. Now she's gone. There's no Wrath of Khorne. Don't have to worry about casting. Obviously, it's not going to do that much damage to them because Khorne's got a lot of spell resistance. I'm not even sure if that hit him. Mainly doing this just so we can heal Azazel, because that appears to be his cheapest spell. Because we don't have heaps of reserves. And while we do have a Tzeentchian character to come in, who has life leeching, so that makes that spell very cheap. Okay, yeah, but I need to be able to heal thingy. Okay, you guys get in there. They've got no area of effect attacks, so we don't need to worry about being in a tight formation too much. Get someone organized. Ooh. And, okay, good. The Furies are gone, but I really want to get rid of these characters here. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They've got flaming attacks, but they don't have magical attacks. So our physical resistance applies here, which means that they... Let's have a look. 55 plus 30, so that's 80. Yeah, like no damage. Basically 0. Yeah, they just can't do anything. What are you doing? There we go. Okay, this is good. Right, I want them to be the front line. Okay, let's move over to here because it's like a bit of a higher ground position. Also, I don't want my marauder units leaving the battlefield too early. Because if we position ourselves over here, then we should be able to... trying to get organized. Should be able to rally our forces. I'm pretty sure the fight over there is going just... Actually, no, that's not good. That's a demon. That's bypassing our physical resistance. Does it have flaming attacks? No. Okay, so... what's going on here? Why didn't we do that much... Oh, the other one's dead, though, it seems. Okay. Alright, well, now they're advancing on us. We're not quite set up yet. Okay, now I feel a lot more set up. Alright, where did that Cormac motherfucker go? Oh god, who knows? It's probably in the forest somewhere. So far. Good amount of damage done. Another thing we've got to consider as well is that he does have a mortis engine effect, so being in a blob is definitely good for us. I don't like those ones being close by to us because they actually do a lot more damage than everything else around here. So let's go pick someone that doesn't... Oh, there's Cormac. Okay. Yeah, there's got bloodletters there. It's a bit tired. That's okay. Let's fucking hit him right in the cornhole. Good. The more of these heroes that we can take out, the better. Well, that's actually a lord. And this guy's got flaming attack with no magical attack, so once again, he's just not going to do any damage to Azazel. And yeah, this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to have Azazel just pick off all of their characters. Because he's so much fucking better than them right now. So yeah, he's got 402 weapon strength, and he's dishing out 90 damage a hit. So we've reduced it by 3/4, at least. That's assuming he hit us once. He may have hit us twice. Because based on our resistances, he actually should be doing like the minimal amount of damage. Yeah. That only did 40 damage, so he's hit us 3 times so far.
They will regret that.
The thing is, needed time for him to go and do this. But we're set up ready to go, and they're just moseying over here quite slowly. Which, if I was in their position, I would try to rush at this and overwhelm it as quickly as possible. I think we terrorized him. I don't think he's going to be that big of a concern anymore. Let's go after Cormac. He's got a really high melee attack, but once again, no magical attacks. So, well, he does have anti-infantry as yeah. Well, wait. We're both got anti-infantry.
Prince of Damnation. A gift for you.
Don't like being near these bloodletters, but maybe they'll just ignore us since they were ignoring us before. Come on, land on his cornhole.
Spell casting.
Doesn't want to. Prefer not to have to land manually, but you know, it is what it is. Just makes it more difficult to get away. He still doesn't want to engage with us. Alright, if I use this, I could slow him down. But I think I'd rather still be dishing it. Okay, hang on, here we go. Alright, corn gores are physical attacks, so don't worry about that. Yeah, they can't get around us. It's all good.
For the Chaos Gods. Seeking scouts.
Yeah, they're trying to flank, but they can't.
I am Azazel.
Got to constantly tell them to redo the order, or else he'll just go and attack something else.
Logos pestilent glory.
Alright, you get in here.
Your will. Azazel, Prince of Damnation.
So again, even though this isn't doing as much damage, it's just because Azazel is so valuable here, I need to get him healed. But I would otherwise prefer to use the Pink Fire of Zinj. Wait until they get all blobbed up, and that being said, there's not that many of their characters remaining. It's beating the shit out of Cormac here.
Exalted betrayer.
Got one more hit, he's gone.
Azazel,
Good.
Prince of Damnation.
They're starting to get through our barrier. Again, this is why I like to put the aspiring champions up here to begin with. And then you can always just pull them back afterwards, where they can get a bit of a rest. So this one here, move back a little bit. Keep them in reserve, just because they're squishy. Maybe bring them a little bit more over here. Ooh, look what's coming up this way. How are we going? Just don't worry about him if he wants to be a coward. That's up to him. Okay. Actually, this one should be up here. Bloodletters versus bloodletters there. It's not a perfect matchup or whatever. Okay, get into melee here, just because you've got a mortis engine effect, you'll kill shitloads of them. Actually, there's bloodletters there, be careful.
The demon blade thirsts.
Good, ripping them to pieces over here. Okay, this one's got some abilities. Let's debuff this one. And cause a big morale penalty on them there. But yeah, our marauders are struggling a bit.
Pestilent glory. Zinj's many.
More reserves up in here.
Relocate. Exalted. Dominate the world. Blessings of core. Arcane.
This is going fine here by the look of it.
Spellcasting.
Quite concentrated over there. Okay, I need these ones here. Try to rear charge them. I'm going to pull through a little bit. I don't think we've lost any units just yet. Yeah, Marauders of Khorn are not faring amazingly well.
Azazel, Prince of Damnation.
It's their units. Trying to pull this one through, but it's just... they're a bit stuck.
Such great satisfaction.
Pain is a gift not meant to be.
Chaos is magic.
Okay, we're pretty low on magic now. That's okay, as long as they're not getting wiped out completely, that's fine, I hope.
All will suffer.
Okay, that's... they've got some flesh hounds of Khorn, they're large units, so large units chariots always struggle with. I think we killed that, yeah, we killed that character. Good thing we put the Tormentor Sword on him, because it stopped him from moving.
My ecstatic
He was trying to get away from us.
arcane might
And they've also got Wrathmongers, those are very bloody strong.
with rapture. Transgression and submission.
Okay, looks like we just inflicted the army losses, but they've still got some Spawn of Khorn coming in.
For the chaos goes.
Which they're flaming attack, aren't they? Yeah, yeah, so Azazel will do really well against them.
Slaanesh expects suffering. Move on them. Lord of Khorn. So be it. See
Again, just casting so that he gets some regen out of it.
champion of chaos.
And we'll try to run down as much of them as we can. Although, 2 of their armies were on force march, it's only Valkyr's army that will survive this battle. but running them down will give us more post-battle loot options. It's good that we didn't lose any chariots, they'll get fully recovered.
Rapturous bloodshed.
Yeah, get rid of those aspiring champions, that's a good option for us.
Spell casting.
Now Rite of Magic, which there's no course for us to get anymore. Already used up all of the, what's it called, the Forbidden Rods.
Dark Prince's minions.
You might actually be better on taking them out. Alright, I'll just pause the recording as I run down as much as I can here, but I don't think any of our units got wiped out, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, all done. So, no units from this one wiped out. The settlement garrison didn't even show up at all, which would have been better if they did. Because who cares about those units? Azazel's in good shape, and he delivered so much value in this battle. He took out most of the characters, sort of by himself. I mean, they really didn't want to fight him, especially after he whooped Valkyria. Something serious. Just checking the other army. Yep, that's good. No demons got wiped out. That was the main thing I was got to worry about, just because they're very squishy. When there's a large-scale battle like that, you've got to... There's more things to keep an eye on. Okay, we can go with replenishment or souls. If we want to get in the boys' hole, we need the trolls' hole. That's not the right one. Yeah, I mean, because it's a little bit low on souls. So you just gained 1,000 there. Yeah, army's not that badly damaged. Yeah, I'd go with this, honestly. Because that's surely pretty much everything that she had just thrown at you. This is on Legendary, and Warriors of Chaos take a very long time to recover from a defeat like that. So if we have a look... Yeah, we fucked her. Khorne's pretty jealous right now.
I am chosen.
Alright, so yeah, your replenishment rate's pretty good. You gotta move these out of this army.
Lord of Khorne.
Because one thing, the upkeep cost difference is pretty damn insane. Because yeah, if you've got negative authority, so that's causing upkeep cost plus 50%, whereas this one here, upkeep cost reduced by 8%. So if we did make a transfer, oh hang on, yeah, okay, it's fine. Transfer these, grab that, and I see he went with a Zinj spellcaster because that way it doesn't reduce Khorne influence. You could have also gone with Nurgle. But we've got too many to deliver. So maybe you wanted to... I just don't know what he wanted to do. This is the big thing. Why don't we just back off from that? And he can figure that out himself. But he definitely should do something about that. And this over here, that's... He can surely manage that himself.
The exalted betrayer.
Yeah. Finish them off. With a bit of a reach around. And then just come in and... The thing, if you want to confederate Valkyrie, you got to take all of her territory. So she's got 5 regions left. And it's fairly spread out, so you've got a bit of work cut out for you. You should not leave this one here under their control, especially given that this is such a good resource. It gives you access to stronger trolls, essentially. And trolls are good within Warriors of Chaos. But yeah, this situation here seems solved. I haven't looked at any other part of the campaign map. While you're fighting against Khorne, definitely a good idea to keep the Dragonbane gem on, as opposed to Talisman of Preservation, because all of their characters are going to have flamey attacks, and they're not going to be able to do anything to him. You'll definitely have to fight Valkyria again at some point. Again, there's nothing that she can do to be able to beat him now while you've got that much resistance. And yeah, you can definitely improve his combat stats a bit further, so that's all going to help as well. So that's all good. Alright, cool. I don't think I'm needed here anymore. He's definitely got this from here. Alright guys, well that's the end of this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the innuendos. And appreciate you guys. Thanks for sending in all the save files. And we'll see you next time. Later guys.